change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from what I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from what I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve.
Good morning. Welcome to it. Another day out here in Robertson County and Points Beyond. This is 1100 WSGI. And I say Points Beyond because we have people checking in from all over. It's a lot of fun. And we also are worldwide via the internet with 1100 WSGI. WSGI has a Facebook page, has a YouTube page. So you can just pick this up anywhere and everywhere. And we just love that. And you can get the app, the WSGI app, and you can tune in and listen to 24/7 Christian broadcasting. And then you get a little bit of local stuff here, 7 to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. And Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. It seems like the time change has already happened, and it hadn't happened yet, so
I know.
I'm dreading that.
I know.
You know, I expect so much out of Congress, I guess, because you would think that they could fix that one way or the other.
Well, I think we're just so beyond that. I mean, we understand what it was about when
Yeah.
it was when it came into being. It was about, being farming and all of those things. But yeah, I would rather us just leave it alone. And some states do, I think.
I think there's a couple that do.
That just don't. They just don't change. So I don't know. I kind of wish we were one of those two. But yeah, we will fall back, and it'll get dark early.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're not falling back until after Halloween, because I hate to see those kiddos out there walking around in the dark.
In the dark.
And they're going to be in the dark anyway. But I'm glad that they're waiting, because I mean Halloween's a week from tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just a week out.
Hey,
So
this month has flew by.
yeah, it has. It's been crazy.
You know, it's and then all the tobacco barns about stopped smoking. Everybody's about wrapping up with their tobacco. And, beans. Everybody's just now getting into their beans, but it's been a fast year. To me, it has.
It has.
It's flew by.
It gets faster and faster all the time. And ever since I started teaching, I can remember Dr. Causey. We missed you, Dr. Causey. We're excited about Dr. Weeks coming in, but I've just I miss Dr. Causey. I can call him Chris now, but it's so funny. He was telling me whenever we were getting ready for summer break, he goes, "Nah, it'll be like a long weekend, LaVern."
Yeah.
He says it'll go like that. Well, because you just stay so busy with everything, and he's pretty much right. It just goes so fast. So the students yesterday, Miss Vivio, it's 8 weeks until Christmas break. And I said, you do realize that that's 8 weeks until this class is over because you come back with a new schedule next year after the first of the year. I said, so everything we're wanting to get done, we need to get on it, guys. Come on, get moving.
Well, they just got off fall break and they're already looking for Christmas break.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Students, of course. Of course.
And going to school was the best times of my life.
Oh, well, and it's so interesting to watch the students and the ones that are getting very close to graduation and it's starting to sink in that I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. The ones that aren't planning on going to college, that want a career. I suggested to one yesterday, I said, why don't you go into law enforcement? No. And I planted a seed. I don't know if I can talk him into it. He'd be excellent. He'd be excellent at it. He's an athlete and doesn't have a plan. I said, you need a career. I said, you could have a career in law enforcement. Oh, no, Miss Vivio. And I was like, so,
I'll tell you what, now they've got so much in school now you can learn a trade.
Yes.
Without going to college. I mean, you walk right out of a trade, probably making around $50 an hour,
Well, I mean, especially the welding and those kinds of things. And, my husband's teaching criminal justice and, we need law enforcement. I mean, we need law enforcement. And we need firefighters and things like that. That's one thing.
EMS.
Yes.
See, I got a couple mayors is upset with me. Every time I go somewhere, well, y'all give your deputies a raise, but we was like 28 short, and we can't get anybody to work in the jail. We're trying to get them salaries up where people will look into the law side.
Right.
But I don't know, it's just not happening much.
Yeah.
I'm
talking to the students because especially these ones that are coming out and they don't know what they want to do. I suggest military. I don't want to do that. I'm like, fine. Well, have you checked into just going and helping them at the prison? Because number one, it will make you reinforce the fact you don't want to be there. It'll help you keep your life in check. And I mean, it's not like you're going out on patrol. I had the student I was talking to, he said, I can't risk my life like that. I think he just didn't feel like he was, brave enough to do that. I mean, he didn't come out and say that, but there's a level of bravery that you have to put on that uniform. And it's not, I don't think it's as prevalent in the prison. We haven't had a prison riot lately, So, I mean, it's not likely to happen here. So you know what I mean? It's not,
it's
not a terribly violent job, I wouldn't think. I mean, you have
the governor's paying state troopers now $65,000 right out of school.
Oh, wow.
After they graduate from state trooper school, it starts out at $65,000.
Wow.
So all the sheriffs was worried that they start losing deputies and probably was going to.
Mm-hmm.
So even with EMS workers, we're constantly fighting a battle, keeping our people from going to another county.
Right.
We're all, robbing each other's help, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's going around. It's like at animal control. We're probably going to be hiring some more people there now that, I'll get into animal control later. We're about ready to move into the new building, and it is bigger. It's bigger, and we're going
to get over there and visit.
Yeah, I think the last Friday of this month.
Okay.
We're going to have an open house from during the day, or because I walked in there this week. Man, it's something to see.
The last Friday of this month is this Friday.
Is that this Friday? No, well, it's next Friday.
Next Friday. Next Friday is November the 3rd, right? Yeah, November the 3rd. Yeah, so
that means November 2nd. I got to do my state of the county.
Yeah, that's a week from Thursday.
Yeah, at the
Baptist
Church.
It has zoomed.
Wow! And
what time is the state of the county? What time does that happen?
I think it's going to start at 11, something like that.
It's a lunch.
Yeah, it's a luncheon. The chamber puts it on, and me and the schools will be making a talk.
Okay.
Seemed like I just did one not long ago, but there's not a whole lot, to talk about as far as state of the county, other than growth. That seems to be the big thing.
Well, and it's going to be what's going on for a while.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned schools. When will the new director of schools take over?
I think he's coming in November 1st.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I hadn't really gotten that official word as a teacher, and I mean they may have sent me an email, but oh my goodness,
But Melanie has done a great job.
Oh, she's fabulous.
Yeah,
she's
she has done a
wonderful.
great job.
But we get so many emails teachers do, and I try to go through them, and it's just it's a lot.
She's so even keel.
She really is.
Yeah, we. I think I was somewhere and somebody was bashing schools, and I looked at her, and she never changed expression.
Yeah.
She never did. Now I'm sure inside she was thinking daggers.
Oh yeah.
But her face never changed expression. Never. It'd been me, I'd probably been getting red or something.
Well, I get frustrated when they start, growling about the schools because I've gotten to know a lot of the teachers, and I haven't met a bad one yet. Now I have seen. I've had students share with me, well, this situation, and maybe, and I'm sure people have shared things about me going, that Miss Vivio, and things that I would like for them to come to me personally. That's the thing. Yeah. People will talk about teachers behind their back, and I'll have a student start talking about a specific. Don't tell me the name. I don't want to hear. I said, if you need to talk, but don't tell me this and this one. I don't want names. You can talk to me about stuff, but you need to go talk to them. And I just, like I said, these are amazing people. They work hard. And I keep telling everybody, if you really want to change the schools, you're going to have to do something about these children's home life. Because
ain't that the truth?
That is the problem.
That's where it starts.
And hearing what my husband deals with and all the teachers, you have so many students that are awesome and doing everything you need, but you have in every classroom students that they don't care. They don't have any motivation. They can't, it's just amazing. Trying to get them to really care about their future. Of course, I was telling you about my senior. He's starting to go, ooh, I got to make money. So it's starting to hit him.
Yeah.
And that's why we have these career classes that we're doing. That's what Mark and I are doing. CTE is career and technical education. And we're trying to bring more of it into the schools. So just, I don't know, y'all.
I had to go.
Good morning.
I had to go read sometimes to the kids, and they are so sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just. It's just unreal what they can do with phones and stuff and computers.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, they're very alert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. So much going on, so many things, y'all, and welcome to it. We appreciate you being a part of what we have going on here. 1 street over Mayor Billy Vogle. He is a week late from the commissioners meeting because he did me a favor and allowed my friends from Croatia to come in here last Tuesday. It was the only day they could come in. And they're on their way. They left the state. I think they're down in Vegas right now, if I'm not mistaken. But they were a lot of fun. And but you had so what all?
She folks, let me tell you, she thanked me for changing my schedule, and I told her, look, at 7:00 in the morning, I'm not very much in demand. There's nothing to change.
I got you.
But hey, I just want to say something. I go to all the 911 meetings, and I just want people to be aware that with the growth we're having, that we are having to change numbers of people's houses. Once you have like my street, when they start building houses on my street, and you're going from 109, the next number is 111, but then there's two houses in the middle, that don't work. So you got to change the whole street. And the object of that is if you call 911, whether it's a fire, a break-in, or an ambulance, they got to know where to go. Mm-hmm. And it would help if everybody put their numbers on the mailbox. That'd help a lot. But, it's, we was talking about jobs there all the time could use dispatchers.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very tough job. If somebody's calling in, if they're distressed, but here's what tickles me. I'm looking at 4 in a row on Maxey Road. Here's a Maxey Road, Cedar Hill, Martin's Chapel, smoke investigation. And it's where people drive by and see a barn smoking like this time of year, and they think it's on fire.
I know, especially you newbies.
Yeah. Of course, they'll ask your name. I got names right here with people where they've called in. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 or 8 on this first page, smoke investigations, where people's called in about tobacco barn smoking.
That's so funny. My brother-in-law did that the first time he came down here. He was coming down 49, and there was there for a long time down. You go down the hill, and right before you cross the creek, and there was a barn there to the left that would smoke. And he first time he came down here, and he's banging on the farmhouse door, your barn's on fire, your barn's on fire. And the guy comes out and he steps out on the porch and he looks at it. He goes, that's a back barn. It's supposed to smoke.
Yeah. I pulled up right here.
We tease him about that all the time.
In the middle of this report right here, there's 5 on this page where people called in and they turn their names in because it's not prank calls because, it's just, that's the way.
It's a back barn. It's supposed to smoke.
And, whenever you call in like that, it's about, we have to charge the city or the county for all these calls that goes back out. And it's about $35, $40 a call.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, the cities have got to pay fees on it. If I call about a back barn in the middle of Cross Plains, they're going to charge Cross Plains for that call. And then the mayor starts fussing because he's got to pay them fees.
Oh, yeah.
But that's part of it.
That's part of it.
That's
you got
part
to
of
take
it,
care
folks.
of it.
It's either that or do your own dispatching.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And that is really expensive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, what else did you have go on?
Well, I'm just going to start out at
the county commissioner meeting.
Yeah, I was lucky. Right before the meeting, my pastor walked in, and he said, "I'm in town tonight because I had to check on somebody at the hospital." And I said, "Well, I want you to do the prayer for us." He's from Alabama, and right now that's not my favorite state, but I'll get over it.
I saw the end of that game.
Game? I mean, we didn't even show up second half. I don't know what happened. I love to hear the speech that Alabama coach done at halftime. But anyway, he done our prayer, and he acted like he thought doing prayer about any time is a big deal. But he was so excited, get in front of the county commission and do the prayer. But he got to watch me hold court, and of course it's like everything. We should have been done in an hour, and we went way longer than that. We like to talk. Every time I tell them, when you turn that TV camera on, people just like to act up. They do like to act up. But I just want to say October the 21st from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock at the airport. You know how some churches have trunk or treat? Mm-hmm. They're doing it with the airplanes. They'll have
October 31st.
21st. Is that already passed?
That's already passed.
Wow, that was Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what happens when I miss a week of getting on the
happened.
radio.
It was this
folks, I hate you missed it because they had a candy drop with a helicopter and everything.
Oh, dog.
Wow.
Man, I wish you'd have sent me that. I've got some kiddos that would have loved that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So,
but they still go at the airport and see what's going on.
Absolutely, they can.
Yeah, I want people going there and see our terminal, our new terminal. Mm-hmm. They've got a room in there that you can rent if you're having something with the group. And it's reasonable. I think it's $50.
It is. It is. I've got two. We've got a friend that's got 2 little boys they adopted from Honduras, and one of them is wanting to be a pilot. And I'm like, you've got to come out and have a party for him out here.
Well, they have pilot school out there and helicopter lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a cool place. It's a cool place. We got a great airport. I had Gina come in and talk about it about a couple of months ago.
Yeah, well, I miss Gina.
I do too.
Yeah, I miss Gina. She was good at her. She was good at her job, and she's so knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. She worked.
We love Ryan Martin. She did. Yeah. That's one of the things she
worked in the Reagan campaign. I mean, the Reagan administration.
I know. She's pretty cool. Yeah. She's got a fascinating story, and she always says that one of the things that she's most proud of during her time as city manager were the people that she hired, like Ryan, like Chief Head, and different ones like that. And because we got some good people. Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house. We're talking about whatever we want to talk about.
Well, Ryan was going to run for mayor. In fact, when I was a county commissioner, Ryan was talking about running for county mayor, and I thought he'd be a good one.
Really?
Yeah, and he changed when the city hired him. He dropped that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, next time you talk to him, make him bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I had not known that. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Awesome. Just all these inside things. He's probably going, Mayor Vogle. Yeah. Shish.
Yeah.
He's excellent. He is really excellent. I tell you what, let's pause for a second. Let me go ahead and let's talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Just a couple of people that are just awesome, and I love them so much. They help me tremendously with the program, with all the things I have going on. And if you need help in the real estate community, I cannot say enough about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. They are brokers. Independent brokers with Exit Realty. Now, we talk about them partnering, helping each other. And, of course, they do. They're a married couple, but they are independent brokers. Rebecca is the broker up in White House, and Barry is the broker here in Springfield. He has an office down on the square. If you want to get in touch with him, sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but buy and sell also in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. They are experts at what they do. They've been at it a long time. Barry comes out of a marketing background, so when you go to his page, you Google Barry Richards Exit Realty Garden Gate Team. His webpage will pop up, and you'll see a lot of stuff about his marketing background, and that helps you understand that when you're wanting to make sure your property is seen in the best light, that's who you need. Somebody that can get the photography and the videography, those walkthrough tours, drone footage, all of that. He's an expert at that. He can take care of it for you. I love that they have some experience with historical properties, not just homes, but also businesses. But they'll tell you all of that on their web pages, and they have separate ones. If you go Rebecca Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate Team, you'll pop up her web page and her Facebook page. So it's a place for you to find out all about them, and everything that you search with them, you're going to find a place, start your search here. You're going to find that button where you can put in the zip code that you're looking to buy in or to sell in, because a lot of the times when somebody has property to sell, they'll put the zip code in and say, okay, what's property selling for in that area? And what can you expect to be able to make as an asking price? So that's a good place to start. But they're a great couple, great friends of the program. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate Team. When you contact them, please let them know that U-Turn sent you. And we're visiting with Mayor Billy Vogle. And he is here to talk about all things county commissioners meeting that happened last Monday night. We're a week late on this, as we just found out when we started talking about stuff at the airport that happened Saturday.
Airport, yeah. I've got always write down on my page when I'm doing court. And I got dirt, and I had to sit here and dirt. What it is, I remember now. If you've been by the office building, you'll see where we're building the new parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to park about 105 cars.
Okay.
And badly needed.
I'll go look at that.
We've got space. We got room at the office building to go up and have more offices, but we didn't have any parking.
And he's talking about the building that was the old hospital
where
you do your tags and your taxes and all of that.
Especially during early voting.
Yeah.
That was a problem getting in and out of there. And parking lot, we already owned the lot. And but we're doing so much work because of the water runoff. We're having to put baffles in the ground to hold the water and keep it from running down the hill, because we're right up on the hill, and of course the Memorial Boulevard's down there, and it's expensive moving dirt and asphalt, but Lord knows we needed parking. Yeah,
for sure.
And with the two court systems there and all the offices, people going in and out, it's it's pretty well the center of Springfield.
Yes, it is.
You think about my courthouse, but parking up there is very limited.
Oh, it is. And people who come new to the county and they see the courthouse and they think, well, do I go there for this, that? And so you need to be directed. And it's the big office building where you go and get your tags, and it's there, the jail's there. And you really can't miss it. If
with
you're
the drive-through,
41, it's there on the right.
Yeah, with the drive-through for your tags.
Oh, that's wonderful. I've used
marriage license, passports, but you got to go in and get a passport. You're going to take your picture. But you can pay the trustee without going inside. That was the best money we spent in a long time, was them two drive-thrus.
Oh, I think so too.
And it happened right about around COVID too, where you didn't have to get out of your car. It was like building a parking lot.
Yeah.
Because them cars never got turned off.
Yeah. And this is what I've got to go. You keep the passport. I'm glad you mentioned that. I've got to get my husband's passport because I'm going to make him go to Mexico with me this summer for our mission trip.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just a little file it away here. What else you got for us?
Well, we got on animal control. I'm hoping in 2 weeks that we will be moved over to it. I want everybody to please come out and look at the building. I was in the old one this week, and man, there's a bunch of good dogs out there.
I know.
I'm talking about good.
I can't hardly stand to go
out there. Not one of them growled or nothing. Yeah. They all were standing up on their paws on the fence, wagging their tails, and there's a couple of them, boy, it's all I could do to keep them leaving everyone. There was one that was 7 years old, and I said, this dog, probably nobody wants it. But it was just as pretty and gentle.
What kind of dog was it?
It looked like it had some shepherd in it.
Yeah.
It was long hair, but it had some white around its eyes, and I asked him, I said, can you know how to age this dog? He said, yeah, that dog's 7 years old. Yeah. But we all the time need volunteers out there. Yeah. So if you want something to do, and whether it's be a they still got the pink ladies at the hospital. A lot of people do that. And animal control and, COPE. I was thinking this morning coming in that there's so many people that do work like that for nonprofits. Of course, senior citizens having I'm sure it hadn't happened yet. They're having their chili, fundraiser coming up. I think it's the last Friday of the month. Would that be this Friday?
It would be this Friday.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Of course, it's tickets. I got to applaud them people. LaVern, they don't sit around and ask for handouts. They're having fundraisers. And the chili's great, and they tickled when you come in there and you get a hot dog and a drink and dessert, chips, crackers. It's a good deal. I'm glad I thought about this so I could bring it up. Everybody could go by and help them out.
Okay, so we think that's going to be the last Friday of the month. I'll check into that. So that would be this Friday.
Yeah, we had Good Morning Robson County last week, and United Way was a sponsor. And they was talking about all the fundraisers people are having and how much help everybody needs. And it's coming on Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's a hard time.
Well, and the United Way, they'll be talking about this on Thursday, but the give thanks boxes. You can take and do a Thanksgiving box for a family. And we've got an amazing United Way, folks. I mean, they get it done. They connect the nonprofits beautifully. And they come in every week, most every week. They weren't here last week because they were at Good Morning Robertson County. So, but they do a fabulous job. And we'll hear more from them on Thursday. What else you got, sir?
Well, I just want to mention also last week I had to speak to Leadership Middle Tennessee. I've been through Leadership Robertson County, and I encourage anyone that wants to be a part of that to take part of that. But Middle Tennessee, you go from county to county, and you'll stay there 2 or 3 days at each county.
Oh, that's cool.
And learning what's in that. They'll go to Electrolux. They'll go to the agriculture part of our county. They'll go to see the schools. And this class there was 2 or 3 mayors in it. Mandy, White House Chamber, was in this class, Leadership Middle Tennessee. And, of course, they went to the smoke play. But I got to welcome. It was at the museum. Yeah. And the gentleman that does his presentation on Weston Farm about his family being raised there and working there as slaves and stuff. And he went back and chased his tree down, and he done the program. And it was so good. Yeah. But I got to speak to them, and I encourage anybody who likes to do Middle Tennessee leadership to do it. Because they're the next shakers and movers in the state. They really
I
are.
agree.
Yeah.
It's a good program. And Charlene Sullivan from My Father's House and she apparently also works at COPE, but she's saying that My Father's House and COPE both are in need of volunteers right now. So if you're trying to find your thing, there's a couple that you can check into.
Boy, I'll tell you, don't a day go by I don't hear COPE's name mentioned.
I know. They do amazing
Don't a day go
work.
by.
I do all my donations. I've got stuff in my car right now that I've been driving around for 2 weeks because I've got to go over there when they're open and I'm in school. But I try to take my donated clothes and things like that to them because they're in Goodwill. There's so much. It's not really a true it's not a nonprofit. I would rather give my stuff to COPE. I'd rather give my stuff to COPE.
And every time you go by there's people out in the street working. They're unloading trucks or doing something.
But don't take them junk, y'all. That's one thing with people that take donations. Our benevolent center up at the Madison Church of Christ. When I was working there, we would come in in the morning and somebody just unloaded a bunch of junk. Oh, it's if you don't have anything, it's better than nothing. No, it's not. Your trash is not better than nothing. Go put it in the trash. Go put it in the trash, and you pay to trash it, not us. I can't begin to tell you how many times. Well, I've got this old such and such, but if you don't have anything, it's better than nothing. And it'd be some old skanky couch. I'm like, no, I'd rather sleep on the floor. Thank you very much. Get that nasty thing out of here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. Go.
I'm glad she's listening this morning. We're bragging about COPE.
Yes, absolutely.
But, it's kind of like everybody can do something for somebody else.
Yes.
And it's just what we're supposed to do as Christians, and you always help someone that's down. Because I'm going to tell you, life's a cycle. You may be up right now, but you may be the next one down. That's just the way it works. So anyway, we got past that, the leadership, and we didn't have any elections or appointments, which is unusual. I think we're going to have some elections coming up because you'd be surprised that, even in county government, I need volunteers to serve on zoning, personnel committee, where civilians can serve, just using your time. But then we went into zoning. Didn't have but one zoning this month. That tells me that we're slowing down with our growth a little bit, I think.
Okay.
I can see it. It's not that the land's not out there, the houses are not. I think the interest rates may be scaring people off.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's high. I get, from my mortgage company, I'm always getting this. You need to refinance. You've got all this equity. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? Why would I do that? I mean, it's like, no, thank you. I think I'll just leave that alone.
It tickles me. I'll tell people. They say my interest rate went to 8%. And I remember in 1979, I bought a new truck at Summers Motor Company. Mm-hmm. And it was 17.5% interest.
Whoa! Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, it was a sign of the times back then.
Yeah.
16.5 when I bought my first house.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember what my first mortgage rate was, but I just don't remember. I had a bunch of little kids then, so I just don't. It's like whatever, But we bought our place from Lloyd Kite, first place we bought.
Yeah, Lloyd Kite.
There.
Yeah.
Yep, remember him?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yep. Yep.
And I think my first, we finally got a loan for 10% for something, and I thought we were stealing it, but your money doubles every 10 years at 10% interest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a pretty good rate there. It looked like we're going to hit that 10 again.
I don't know, man. I'm just going to sit tight. What else you got, Mayor?
I was able to go to a meeting last week with the other mayors at the TDOT headquarters in Region 3, and we was talking about trying to get projects moving forward faster. And I think we're going to have to do a lot of work on the state level about getting more money for TDOT projects. Because whatever you start today, it's going to take you 12 years before you see it come to fruit. Mm-hmm. It takes about that long. And
they do move slow.
And you think about it, we got 95 counties. And all the roads and bridges and ditches and culverts and red lights and all that, and they're over all that. And, it takes a lot of money to keep that up. Mm-hmm. The governor gave Robeson County $1 million last month. 4 roads. Well, I went to the highway meeting. I always go because it's interesting. I like them guys on the board and everything. And $1 million won't do but 10 miles. It's $100,000 a mile to pave a road.
You kidding me?
It won't do but 10 miles.
That's crazy.
Well, if they gave every county $1 million, that was $95 million right there. But I think the governor and them are smart about.
Wow.
It's kind of like an apple tree.
Yeah.
You can pull the apples and give them away, but you don't want to pull the tree up.
Yeah.
And I think they've probably got several $1 billion maybe, in the TDOT fund, but he's drawing interest off of it too, and we're getting probably what the interest was the counties are. He's not pulling the tree up.
Not going to pull the tree. I got you.
I think that's being smart. I think it's smart.
Right.
So, but he keeps the money back for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, we just had one zoning. It was Ag 2 going to R40, which R40 is 40,000 square foot lot. Mm-hmm. But we did have I've been asking zoning for a while now. I got to looking at our fees, and we had not changed our fees in a long time. I'm talking about over 10 years, maybe 12. I felt like, all right, if you build an in-ground swimming pool, I think the fee was $50. And I know people that build swimming pools, and they said, I got $100,000 in a swimming pool. And I thought, yeah, and you gave the county $50? We're behind times. Mm-hmm. I want that office to pay for itself. Mm-hmm. I don't want the taxpayers funding that office that are already here. Right. Let the people that's coming in here and buying and building, let them pay the fees to help offset the cost of a new ambulance. Every 10,000 people, Vern, you got to have another ambulance. Mm-hmm. An ambulance, equipping an ambulance for 7 days, 24 hours a day, buying the ambulance, the first year's $750,000. Now, you can't make that on a $50 fee for a swim.
No, you can't.
So we had to look at them things and change our fees. If an inspector comes out on your property, drives out there and stays inspecting, and then comes back, we've got to pay him for his time, his benefits, the truck, And we was, if you move a house, we wouldn't charge them but $150 fee down the road. And that ain't nothing.
We moved house one time, so I know about them things.
That's hard work, ain't it?
Oh, that was a trip.
Yeah.
When we bought the place from Lloyd Kite, okay, it
Yeah.
is zoned to where there was a lot of buildings on it, but there was nothing that you could live in. And so we needed instant living space. Well, they wouldn't let us put up a construction trailer or anything. It was zoned against it. You had to, it was, particularly zoned to keep it, an upscale neighborhood. So we bought a house from the airport authority, and the LaRue's moved it, and then we reconstructed it. The top part of my house was actually moved, and then we completely redid it all and built a basement section. But yeah, my house, the core of my house was moved from the airport authority.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an experience, y'all, from Nashville.
Hey, I think
That was a trip.
now the new fee to move a house is $250.
That's still nothing.
That's
I
still
don't know.
nothing. I agree.
It cost me pennies to move that house. And then we spent, thousands and thousands renovating it. But it was insane how little it cost me to move that house. And yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. But anyway, let me go ahead and do a break here. We're talking to Mayor Billy Vogle. They had the county commissioner meeting last week. We're a week late on this, and that's my fault. He graciously let my friends come in and take his slot last week because that was the only day that could come in. But we're catching up, and I appreciate it. And we need to catch up with what's going on at Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. Oh, I love them so much out there. They're so much fun to talk to. They're just a fun family, the Corbins. Go and see them and see what they've got going on in the greenhouse. Don't know if they still have any mums left, but they'll have, they always have the succulents and the beautiful house plants. This is the time, that you want to bring that stuff inside. We actually have some succulents that we haven't killed. I'm so proud of us. But, and Amy helps me with all that. She helps me, to know where to plant things in my yard. I just, now's the time to get perennials in the ground. Don't forget your mums are perennials. Don't kill them. Keep watering them. Once they're done blooming, plant them in the ground. They'll come back next year, and you can talk to Amy about how to cut them back when they start blooming to make sure they bloom when you want them to in the fall. You can go out and, of course, talk to them about the CBD products that they sell there. I was at the Rainey's yesterday. We've got a little sewing project going on, and she was sewing some stuff up for me, and we were talking about the problems with our hands and how thankful we are for the CBD products that help us so much. We've been using the CBD salve for headaches on some of our little ones. My grandson, Tiffany Thompson's little daughter, is also, these little kids have these little sick headaches and things like that. And it's something you can do that is, natural, that has helped these little ones. So if you're interested in CBD that's produced from Robertson County plants that her brother Bill grows, go and talk to her about that. Go and buy some pot holders and some bowl cozies and things like that Miss Jane has made, and just go visit with them. Enjoy talking with them and get your yard, your garden ready for spring, because as we've been talking about how quickly the year has gone, it is quickly going to be January, February, and time to plant your cool weather vegetables in February. So you want to get your garden ready now for that. You want to get your perennials in the ground now so you have that beauty coming back in the spring. All those things going on. That's what you need to go and talk to them about at Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. You can call them at 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185, 4920 Highway 161, 4920 Highway 161. Always let them know that U-Turn sent you. Mayor Billy Vogle in the house. What else do we need to talk about, sir?
Well, I'm going to talk about mums.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever replanted one that lived. You reckon I'm getting them not deep enough? It's freezing or what? And then
Go talk to Amy.
Yeah, when's the time to trim back your knockout roses? Right now?
I don't know.
Or
Amy?
If somebody knows.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anybody know about, I just don't know, because I am not that. I used to be. I used to really stay up on that stuff, but now I'm running by the seat of my pants all the time. So I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff.
I planted a couple around the fence and just so it'd be pretty colors.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Now it's looked like it needs to be trimmed back. And
well, I don't know. When do you
somebody
trim
tell me,
knockout
yeah.
roses? And again, I need to get Amy in here just to school us on what to do with our mums, because it matters where you plant them to. And a lot of it, I've got hydrangeas that come back, but they're not flowering. I think I've got them in the wrong spot in my yard. And so I've moved them a couple of times, and I need to really talk to her about that. But I've got mully grass now that's like cotton candy. It's just so fun. I just love all that stuff. But Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house. What else do we need to talk about the county commissioner meeting?
I'm going over like the rezoning request. If you're doing 1 to 4 lots, it's $500 for us to look at the plats and see where the water runoff's all going to be. It's just part of smart growth.
The fees that you're talking about, yeah.
It's just we don't need somebody doing development that's going to be water running off on other people. Maybe the ground won't perk if it's septic tank fills. It's just doing things right. If you're going to pay that kind of money nowadays to build a house, you ought to have it inspected and treated. Well, know what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
sure.
When I was elected to the county commission first time back in, I've been 25 years. Well, anyway, the first call I had was a lady that lived, in Cedar Hill. And her septic tank, she bought the house, paid cash for it from a guy. I started calling him a gentleman. He shouldn't have done it. And the state had to go out there and condemn her house. The ground would not hold any sewage at all.
Oh, my.
It was on top of the ground. It was running back in her house.
Oh, good Lord.
And she had, bless her heart, she had paid cash for this house.
Oh.
No inspections done or nothing.
Oh, my goodness.
And, zoning, people think,
that's heartbreaking.
Well, people say zoning gives me a hard time. I'm telling you, folks, it's also there to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
It's to protect you from somebody building things around you that you don't like, that may harm your property values. They're not there just to collect fees.
Mm-mm.
It's just that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't have zoning, we'd be back now wild, wild west again, I guess.
Yeah, and there's people that would take advantage.
Yes, they will.
I was somebody's telling me, I hear stories, and you got to be kidding me. Most people are good, but there's a handful of them out there that aren't, that just really can cause problems. So you have to,
desperate people do desperate things.
I guess.
Yes, they do.
But, anyway, Mayor Billy Vogle, what else you got?
All right, we updated all of our building codes to try to keep up the times. We're in the process now of updating solar panels. It looks like there's chances that solar panel farms could be coming into Robeson County. We want to protect the neighbors around it while not exactly telling the people that wants to do it they can't do it. But the thing is, my concern is if the company goes bankrupt, who is going to clean up the mess?
Yeah.
That's a concern of mine. Will these things go into the landfill?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like electricity, cars or whatever, and solar may be where this nation's headed. I don't know, but
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think micronuclear. That's look into it, guys. Micronuclear. That's the future. Just saying. But it's more. I mean, that's where we should have already been. But anyway.
Well, it's
in my opinion. But
Chase, I've always said, if you'll follow the dollar, you'll find the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
But, go ahead.
Well, you need to get to a commercial in line?
I've got one more to do. Let's just
right.
go ahead and knock it out. Let's talk about Veterans Motorplex. You were talking about, we were talking about the airport candy thing they did this past Saturday. Well, this Saturday, I talked to Jerry yesterday to clarify some stuff because in my understanding, I thought racing ended this on Saturday because that's because it typically runs through October. Well, this year they're going to run a couple of weeks into November. So they're not going to be done until mid-November. So you've got 3 more weeks to go to the races, according to Jerry. And so they are going to do their trunk or treat from race cars this Saturday. So if you want your kiddos to trunk or treat from race cars, he says he thinks it's starting about 4:00. So the gates open at 4:00. That's when you can go in, trunk or treat. It'll be an awful lot of fun. And, of course, the racing. Local favorites. Sometimes you have even teenagers out there running those tracks. It's fun. If you haven't been to the races in a while, get on out there. The next 3 weeks is your last chance to do it before the season ends for 2023, and then they'll gear right back up in the spring. But it'll be a fun time. Great weather. Oh, my goodness, this past weekend was just absolutely gorgeous. And just hoping we got a great weekend for all the Halloween stuff coming up. But they're going to trunk or treat at the racetrack this Saturday. Get out there at 4:00 when the gates open. And then have a great time just watching those cars run around the track and just all the fun stuff. Great concession stand. I got 2 of my kids that are in my class that work in the concession stand there. And they're going to be there. So say hi to Jason and Andrew, but just some fun stuff. Local kids out there having fun, working, doing their first job. It's just a good environment. It's a family environment, and they want to invite you out at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. You can call them at 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725. This is Veterans Motorplex, the old Highland Rim Speedway. Get out there this weekend. Gates open at 4. Racing starts at 6 and goes until about 9. But trunk or treat from race cars, 4 o'clock. Get out there and see what's happening. Take your kiddos, dress them up, have some good times. Tell them U-Turn sent you. Mayor Billy Vogle in the house. We've still got, oh my goodness, we got like 14 minutes, and I'm done with my commercials and everything.
Jerry is a great guy.
He is. He's awesome.
And he has turned that racetrack around. When I was a kid, my daddy loved racing. We'd go to the racetrack at Nashville and Highland Rim, and it was a pretty rough place to go.
Yeah.
But he has turned it into a family deal now.
Yes, he has.
He's really cleaned it up, and he works hard at it. So I think it's a part of history out there.
Oh, I do too. It's wonderful. It is a good time, and he's just working hard. I caught him yesterday, and he was driving, getting some parts from somewhere in Carolina. I think he goes, "I'm heading home," and so I finally was, because he's a hard one to get on the phone to get on. I have to watch social media to see what's going on, and you follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. They didn't change their social media page to Veterans Motorplex because they already had so many followers. And so you go Highland Rim Speedway, but then you see Veterans Motorplex on the banner. So that's how you follow them to see what's going on. So very good. Mayor Billy Vogel, what else did you do?
Well, we got into resolutions. Bobby Couts is chairman of the budget committee. The first resolution was a $54,000 resolution that we had to move some money over for. And what it was for, which it went into my budget, but it's an employee out there at the USDA office. USDA, yeah. We got a federal grant for $2.5 million to Soil Conservation District. And the only way you could get it, you had to hire an employee to put the bids out to the farmers or whoever owned the land, see that they do right to get this money. And what it is, if you got water runoff, gullies that's washing down in the river or whatever, this money is used to stop stuff like that. Erosion. Once you lose your topsoil, you're in trouble. You get down that red clay mud. And that's what this money's for. It's out there at the USDA office. If you're interested, we got a full-time employee now to distribute this money and work with you. There's guidelines how to do it. You're not just going to go out there and throw some grass seed on the ground to get the money. So we had to pass that. Hopefully that's reoccurring every year now, that kind of money coming into the county. All right, of course, this one here, it looks like we're moving to Brent Dyer. Yeah, we're paying for some medical needs, overtime. When you think about funding, we've got, I don't know how many, ambulance stations, and we need another in White House right now. But these people are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and them ambulances hardly ever get turned off. I mean, they're idling or doing something. We had to move about $100,000 over and from vehicle outlay into overtime and medical personnel needs. Overtime is killing us because we can't get enough people to work regular time. They just ain't out there. We're fighting with every county across the state with that, and those are good jobs. We got training and everything, but I guess it takes a special person to work in that line. Yeah. Well,
I mean, if you see what the folks that work in ambulances and on fire, what they have to deal with, I spent so many years listening to what they were dealing with, and they would, share details, and it's a lot. Paul Rainey, who's on here every morning with us, he was 40 years with the fire department up in Nashville, and he doesn't talk a lot about it, but every now and then he'll share something. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough field.
It's like the county deputies and working wrecks, stuff like that.
Heartbreaking.
It's tough, and my son's a firefighter here in Springfield, and he has already done some things that he don't talk to me about, but I hear about it, and he holds it in or something. He don't talk about it,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine seeing devastating car. I mean, we hear about these devastating car accidents and things like that in the news. Well, you think about the people who are the first responders who have to go to those scenes and sort them out and deal with that heartbreak. It's just awful.
I think I seen on the news this morning in Louisiana they had how big a car wreck was it? Like 90 something cars or something.
Are you kidding?
I think I don't know how many people was killed.
Oh my goodness!
I guess it's foggy, and one had a wreck, and they just kept driving into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one thing. I'll look it up, but whenever you see some of these foggy conditions and things, it can be devastating. And we had a situation when we were in Green Bay one time, and we were trying to drive through fog, and you literally couldn't see anything.
Right.
I was terrified. I just knew we were going to get run over, but because my kids were little, we finally were able to get to an off ramp and get into a parking lot of a hotel or something. We didn't know where we were. You couldn't see anything, and we just stopped. And I've never been so thankful in my life to park a car and to wait the fog out because it was terrifying. You couldn't see anything, and I've never experienced that. I've never experienced that in my life.
One of my resolutions we're going to have in a minute, we're going to talk about the interstate.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, had a resolution. 113 was where we got a state grant on insulin. Okay, and this grant went to the health department here in Robs County, which is probably one of the best kept secrets in this county, is Robs County Health Department. For insulin, for people to get their shots if they need help or need the money. It's set aside just for that, $135,000. So you don't hear about things like that.
Right.
Plus, there's another grant that was given to us from the state of Tennessee. They put a permanent awning on the health department in case
we ever have to do
heaven forbid we ever get back into COVID again.
Yeah.
And we had to get up on the roof. I think with the vaccines and stuff, and people are more aware about keeping your hands clean, that we're good. All right. I got a drug control department capital outlay right here. It's for public safety, and also some money was given in a grant for purchase of jail equipment. And this one machine was really special. It does a body scan without the guards having to do it. They walk through this thing that does a scan of inside the body for drugs or weapons and stuff. Oh, wow. Instead of you telling people to bend over and all that. This was very much needed. Yeah. And, it's, I heard somewhere the other day a lady snuck a gun on a plane, and she got through the scanner. And, just some way or another, she had it hit on her. But it was, she had, I don't know if she had swallowed it or what, but it got through. So these scanners are very important. I tell you, I wouldn't take nothing if I went at the courthouse. It kind of reminds me of the story yesterday. Springfield had a pipe bomb brought into a business. And it wasn't that the guy had it to blow it up. He was just doing it like show and tell. Well, before it all got wrapped up, they went to a house out in the county and found 3 more.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. The guy that was cleaning the house found this pipe bomb. And they went back he showed them.
So he was just like, look at what I found. And everybody was like, whoops.
I mean, it's right there on Main Street. They had it taped off. I didn't know what was going on for a long time while they carried that thing out to the landfill and discharged it. Oh. It was hot. Yeah, it was hot.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. There's another reason to be a deputy or a police officer. Yeah, dealing with the pipe bombs. Okay, this is something we charge like $5 every time you get a copy or a fee. And you think, why they charge me that? We had to spend $12,000 this month getting more microfilming done at the archives. Everything that's done in this county is put on film and put in a room where the humidity and stuff are just right. It takes a lot of money to keep this stuff where you can 20, 30, 40 years from now, you can go back and get copies of anything you need. Mm-hmm. They don't happen for nothing, folks. And we've come a long way. It used to be everything was stored on paper. Now it's microfilm, but still you got to have places to put all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was $12,000 for the microfilming. And let me look at this. Computers in finance office went down. And that's not a good deal when it comes payday for the schools and everybody. The schools is the second biggest employer in the county. So we had to spend $26,000 on new computers. And of course, it comes out of capital outlay, which is $799 account. And people say, why do you got an account like that? Well, just for stuff like this right here. When the computers go down, we're spending a lot of money now on cyber stuff, a lot of money. Because we don't need anybody hacking into the county's business and stealing people's names, their social security numbers. Chet Biggers is our tech guy. He does a great job. He stays on top of it. He even sends out bogus stuff to the employees to see if they'll bite. And if they do, he makes them fill out some schoolwork and tell them not to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like somebody tells you, they won the lottery. If you'll send them $5, they'll give you, you better not bite on that stuff because that's just somebody trying to hack in. We ain't got much time left. Now, finally, I'm glad I got down to this. The county commission approved to give to our 9 fire departments $100,000 up. Well, it's $760,000 altogether. We have contracts with the cities that if they'll go outside of their city limits, we pay them for fire service. Now, part of our contract is when we give them this kind of money, I want to see the city spending that kind of money too. Don't just survive on our money. I've got stories where one city said, hey, if the county's going to give us $100,000, we're just not getting nothing for our fire protection this year. That's not the way to do it. This equipment is expensive, and it affects your insurance policy, what they charge you if you're in that area that maybe doesn't have fire protection. So, like Cross Plains, we give them another $116,000. They have bought some new equipment. Greenbrier, we give them $80,000, and Mayor Hadcock told me he's fixing to hire a man full time, adding to the fire service. All these fire departments, we're trying to get them to help put a man there at these stations during the day at least. Because most of this is volunteer.
Right.
And it's hard. Here we go again. It's hard to get anybody to volunteer. It's a great way to get your foot in the door if you want to be EMS with the training for first responders or go to work for a fire department. Be a volunteer first. It's just now we had not upped this pay for them in a long time. It was something that needed to be done. I think it's going to put us where all of them can buy the equipment they need because these trucks, they're expensive. Even the hose, everything's expensive. So it was something the county commission needed to do. We did it, and we're going to try to do it every year. Okay. This amount of money.
Make the improvements and maintenance and things like that there.
Yeah,
right?
And hire people.
Yeah.
Let's face it, if it's $1.4 million, what we done gave them in this here for a whole county for having fire service for $1 million, that's pretty cheap.
Oh yeah. That's
pretty cheap.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and we're hoping we're getting a good service out of it with the cities, and I applaud them guys that do that kind of stuff. And before we run out, here's where we signed up for that opioid money that was abatement money that was given out. I think I've told you that we're giving it to drug court. We've already leveled a lot over there. We're removing dirt to build a building that people that need to be in rehab. They can still keep their job, be with their families, and they're doing their rehab at night. Well,
see, and we've got the building for counseling that we're in right now. That's it's just past the Dollar General if you're heading out toward Kroger down Highway 41 there on the right, for the intensive outpatient therapy.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be officially opened up here. I'm not sure when, but come to Recovery Court Thursday.
I'll be there.
Recovery Court graduation. Recovery Court graduation is this Thursday. We ask that you be there by 11:30 so you can get your meal. You're going to get fed really well. And then we want to start right at noon. I think we have 8 graduates this time. I'm taking the day off so I can be a part of it. It's just I'm on the board and I just want to be there. And so they're graciously letting me take a personal day at school to be able to be there. So if you want to know more about what he's talking about, come to Recovery Court graduation and start learning about it. And you just won't be able to get enough of it because it's an amazing program. And so many, everybody knows somebody in their family that's got something going on.
Before, the only way to get in rehab was come out of jail.
Yep.
And, we got to try to get something done before they get in that situation.
It's an amazing program. Yeah. What else have you got here?
All right. One more thing. I want to tell you that our industrial board is buying a piece of property in White House. I've been trying to get the industrial board to find some land for industrial. And in White House off 65, they've purchased some land. They're working on getting infrastructure in there, and we're hoping that one day, it's about 100 acres, and we're hoping one day that it will happen, that we're going to have a lot of jobs up there for people in Roberts County.
Very good.
We don't want you driving out of the county. And I told leadership, I said, whatever you see here in this county, keep it a secret because they're sure moving our way.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And,
I'm
it's so
done.
wonderful. I'm one of those that's a big fan of having things local because it's so nice not to have to commute to Nashville anymore. I appreciate it. I got to go teach the kids, so I got to head to school myself. Thank you, Mayor Vogle.
I got to go work for Robertson County.
There you go. It's a good day. It's a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. Tune in tomorrow for Steve Hemphill. He's going to be here for spiritual warfare, and oh my goodness, it's fascinating. Don't miss it tomorrow on 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a great day.